Captain's log, new entry. October 26, 2185, 12 p.m. sharp, Super Earth Standard Time. Or, simply, Liberty Day at noon. The Helldivers finally have a day to themselves. We can finally relax and enjoy all of the freedoms that we have spent so long fighting for. Today, I will be on my ship, serving the crew some drinks and running my annual Liberty Day broadcast. I can only hope that today will go smooth, but that seems to be getting rarer and rarer these days. Hey Penny, this is Togan, you there?
Yeah, what's up?
The bridge is picking up some interference. How is the signal on the broadcast?
We had some minor fluctuations about a minute ago, but we look pretty good right now.
Alright, thank you. Carry on. Finally, I can just fucking relax.
Commander, there's something up on the board.
Come on, Mitch. I know you're seasoned, but leave the formalities in the pod, please. We've known each other forever, and it's a holiday. Plus, I don't exactly run a tight ship anymore.
Right, but there's something you need to see. It's up on the board.
I'm not in the mood to watch the parade right now.
It's not the parade, man. Come on, it's important.
Oh, alright. This better be worth my time off.
They sent it straight to our ship. It's on all the channels, and the first episode of the ODST reboot is on right now.
Interrupting your show? These guys mean business.
Will you quit being a smartass and take a look at the goddamn TV? What? You told me to drop the formalities.
Yeah, fair enough. Seriously? Is this a joke?
Unfortunately, no, it's not a joke. And I can't watch my show until this is taken care of.
So you're saying I have to rank every single Warbond in Helldivers too?
Yeah, seems that way.
Well, that's great, I was worried that you brought me over here to watch Xavier Renegade Diver again, but this is somehow worse.
I know, right? Anyways, good luck, buddy. Oh man, I'm gonna go take a cryo nap. Wake me up when the party starts.
Yeah, I just might leave you in there for the night. So, here we are. It's been a while since I've done a tier list video. It was kind of my thing, like back in early 2025, and then I decided to move on to other videos, and that was a good idea. But I pretty much owe my success as a channel to this format, to tier list videos. Some of you may remember my video from last Liberty Day, which was called Ranking Every Stratagem in Helldivers 2. That video was a massive hit for a channel of my size, and I had less than 200 subscribers back then. And 1 year later, here I am with 8,000 more. I'll have the tier maker template in the description if you want to make your own Warbond tier list, and I would love to see if anyone makes their own video out of it. And if you do, tag me in the description, that's at GrandMoffTogan, and I'll watch your video, and I'll give you a shout out in a future video. And please keep in mind that this is all my opinion. I don't care if I'm quote-unquote wrong about anything here. This is all just how I feel about each Warbond themselves. And we're going in order, so that means we're starting off with Steeled Veterans. Steeled Veterans is a classic. It was released with Helldivers 2 itself, and it was given to anybody who purchased the Super Citizen Edition. That is, until they changed it to be a token for any premium Warbond, which was the right move. Steeled Veterans has a lot of really classic weapons. Stuff that veteran players might have even forgotten came in a Warbond to begin with. The Jar 5 Dominator, the P4 Senator, and the Liberator Concussive, and the Breaker Incendiary. All of these weapons have successfully carved out their own little niche, and are great additions to the arsenal of any Helldiver. And there are also the armor sets. These are really great looking armor sets that complement the original Helldivers 2 style, like the original armor sets. And they also give you a fun twist with robotic limbs and stuff. Aren't amputations so much fun? The armor passive for this Warbond is servo assisted. which gives you 30% increased throwing distance and 50% more limb health, which are two moderately useful perks, and they're extremely thematic for this Warbond. I like it when Warbonds make passives that feel like right at home with the armor sets that they give you. Like, there's a lot of examples of that, but we'll get to those later. Plus, you get a bunch of cosmetics, victory poses, capes, cards, and you even get a booster too. This Warbond has some serious bang for your buck. It's pretty good stuff, but the weapons you do get aren't super unique. It won't like expand your horizons, if you know what I mean. It's mostly like an armory extension, not an armory expansion, if that makes any sense. So Steeled Veterans, I think it's pretty damn good. I mean, I love the Senator and the Dominator. I'm putting it S tier. There's so many good weapons that I've used since launch in this Warbond, so I'm gonna put it in S tier. Next up, we have Cutting Edge, and this was the first Warbond to be released after launch. And it was the first time that they tried to use a strict theme to dictate the items of a Warbond. It's all about technologically advanced weapons, like the Sickle, the Dagger, the Plasma Punisher, and the Blitzer. All of these weapons have their own merits that make them stand out amongst the rest. And the Plasma Punisher just got a huge buff. It's one of my favorite weapons, and it finally functions properly, and I'm really happy about that. The armor sets in this Warbond do come with a unique passive, which is called Electrical Conduit, which reduces arc damage taken by 95%. So you only take a 20th of the arc damage that you normally would, which is great when you want to run things like Tesla Towers, or if you're fighting the Illuminate. You will become nearly immune to all of their arc attacks. But outside of those two situations, you get no benefit from using these armor sets. And two of the three armor sets are functionally identical. They are both medium armor sets with 100 armor rating and the same passive. But this Warbond also comes with a pretty underrated booster, the Localization Confusion Booster. This booster delays the amount of time between enemy encounters, like bot drops or bug breaches, and it even scales with difficulty. If you ever find yourself being overwhelmed by enemy encounters, consider bringing this booster. It's not bad at all. Just keep in mind that it doesn't affect defensive missions like Eradicate missions or high-value asset extraction. I'm a little torn on Cutting Edge because a lot of this stuff is very situational, and I don't bring the Dagger often, or in the Sickle it still needs more buffs, but I do love the Plasma Punisher and the armors. It sucks that two of the armors are the same, but the passive is pretty strong in the right hands. I think I'm gonna put Cutting Edge in like a high B tier. It might end up at a low A tier by the end of this video. Next up, we have Democratic Detonation. Everyone recommends this Warbond to new players, and there's a few good reasons for that. It opens up so many tactical opportunities for new players. Both of the explosive primary weapons in the whole game come from this one Warbond, the Eruptor and the Crossbow, and they're both really incredible weapons that allow you to blow things up at long range without the use of any stratagems. The Grenade Pistol is also an excellent choice for a secondary, and the Thermite Grenade is perfect for some easy anti-tank damage. And I'm a big fan of the Adjudicator. It's a really good assault rifle. I like weapons that fire slower and have bigger bullets and deal more damage, like the Adjudicator or the Reprimand. So the weapons in this Warbond, already incredible. An incredible offering of 5 amazing weapons. And this Warbond also comes with 3 armor sets, but no unique armor passives, which is really the only downside for this Warbond. The FS-55 Devastator and the CE-27 Groundbreaker are really awesome looking armor sets. I run the Groundbreaker all the time, but functionally they are carbon copies from other armor sets that are in Helldivers Mobilize. So they serve no actual practical purpose. They're essentially cosmetic items. The only unique armor set in this Warbond is the CE-07 Demolition Specialist, because it has an unusual armor rating of 64 armor. You also get the Expert Extraction Pilot Booster. It's not a great booster, but it can come in handy if you're on like a gloom-shrouded planet, or if you just really want that one achievement where you gotta extract in 6 minutes. And of course, you get a wide variety of cosmetic items, and this Warbond is incredibly good for new players and veterans alike. I mean, I think anyone who's bought Democratic Detonation has got a lot of value out of it. Like, you get 5 weapons and they're all really, really good. I mean, you can't really beat that. So Democratic Detonation, easy S tier. Next up, we have Polar Patriots. And I find that Polar Patriots is similar to Steeled Veterans, where the items don't strictly follow a single theme, but the Warbond as a whole is great for extending your arsenal with a bunch of pretty standard items. And there are some pretty awesome weapons in here. I've always been a fan of the Tenderizer and the Verdict, but you also get the Pummeler, the Purifier, and the Incendiary Impact Grenade. Already, that's a lot of value for 1,000 credits. The major downside of this Warbond is, again, the lack of unique armor sets. And sure, all of the armor sets look great. I think they actually look really awesome. But every single one of them, every single armor set is functionally copied from a previous Warbond. None of them have any unique gameplay offerings whatsoever. So this means that yet again, there is no new armor passive with this Warbond. It also comes with the Motivational Shocks booster, which isn't considered to be a very good booster at all. In fact, it was broken for over a year and it was only fixed recently. The whole point of this booster is to reduce the slowing effect caused by things like tremors or ice plants. But whenever you equipped this booster, it would also apply to enemies, making them also resistant to slowing attacks. It's finally been fixed, but I still don't see anyone taking this booster. It's incredibly situational, and you just don't get a lot out of it, and the other boosters are just too damn good. Even with all of these problems, Polar Patriots is great for anyone who just wants more weapons to play around with, and I still think it's pretty good for that reason alone. I'm gonna put it right around cutting edge, I think. I might change it around later. I think Polar Patriots is a little bit better than cutting edge, just because I like the weapons more, and I also like the style, but yeah, it does have some major drawbacks. I'm putting it below. Next up, we have Viper Commandos. And this Warbond has a really fun theme, like one of the most fun themes out of any Warbond. It's all very much based on classic 80s action movies, like Commando, Predator, Rambo, like the list goes on. And the weapons fit really well with this theme. You get the Liberator Carbine, which has its own camo pattern built in. You get the Bushwhacker, which is great for getting up close and personal with your enemies. Plus, you get the throwing knives. And even though I don't like the throwing knives very much, they are still a very cool item on paper. Lots of other games have very cool throwing knives, and they're always fun to use to an extent. The armor sets are also really cool. I love the Predator armor set. The helmet is fantastic, and making all of the armor sets sleeveless was a nice touch. And if you're a fan of camo, then this Warbond has you covered. Even the capes and the cards are all camo. The armor passive in this Warbond is Peak Physique, which gives you better ergonomics while handling weapons and doubles your melee damage. This passive is really good at making you feel like a big man. It combos really well with the look of the armor, and Viper Commandos also comes with one of the best boosters in the game, the Experimental Infusion Booster. This booster increases the potency of your stims, giving you 10% damage resistance and 10% more movement speed when you take drugs. It might not sound like a lot, but you will feel the effects when you're playing the game. Combine this with the medic armor, and you will 100% get addicted to drugs. This Warbond has really grown on me over time. I like it a lot more now than when it came out, and I can recommend it to pretty much anyone just for the booster alone, and the weapons are also pretty damn good, except for the throwing knives. I think Viper Commandos, yeah, the booster's so good. I'm not a big fan of melee. I love the cosmetics. I'm gonna put it in A tier for now. Next up, we have Freedom's Flame. And it's very easy to know if you like Freedom's Flame or not. Do you like fire? Then you like Freedom's Flame. Do you not like fire? Then you do not like Freedom's Flame. Literally every single item in this Warbond revolves around setting things on fire and surviving fire damage, and that's cool with me. It's nice to have Warbonds that really hardcore specialize in certain playstyles. The Torture and the Crisper are essentially flamethrowers for the primary and the secondary slot, respectively, so it opens up a bunch of new opportunities for flamethrower lovers. You can bring the Torture and save your support weapon for something like long-range anti-tank, like a recoilless rifle, or bring the Crisper to save both your primary and your support weapon slot. There is a lot of neat ways that you can customize your loadout to incorporate fire once you get this Warbond. Plus, you also get the Cookout, which is simply an incendiary version of the Punisher, just like the Breaker Incendiary is an incendiary version of the Breaker, just with a much less creative name than the Cookout. The armor passive in this Warbond gives you 75% damage resistance against fire, and while this is incredibly useful for a fire-based loadout, it could be much, much better. When you consider that the damage reduction is literally the only perk in this passive, 75% really isn't enough. I think they could keep it at 75% if they added another perk that doesn't allow your character to be set on fire. I think they should keep raw fire damage and remove the burn over time, if you know what I mean. This Warbond also comes with the Firebomb Hellpods booster, which is possibly the worst booster in the game. In my opinion, it doesn't do enough damage to enemies to justify taking it with you, but it sure as hell will set your team on fire if they call in a resupply. Just don't pick this booster unless you intend on getting your team killed. It's really simple to say that if you like fire, you're gonna like this Warbond and you're gonna want to buy it. I like fire myself. It's one of my favorite things to take against the bugs, so I'm gonna put Freedom's Flame also in A tier. It's really damn good at that one thing. It's really good at spreading fire. Next up, we have Chemical Agents. And even though this is far from my favorite Warbond, it does have a couple of good items and some decent armor. The gas grenade is the highlight of this Warbond, no doubt about it. The initial detonation does a comical amount of damage, only 3 damage, but it will spread gas to everything in the area, and it has enough demolition force to destroy things like fabricators and bug holes, so you can effectively use it against enemies and structures alike. The other items are nothing special, really. The stim pistol is a great idea, but in practice, you won't find much use for the stim pistol unless you're able to very, very effectively communicate with your squad. It's not good for just casually playing with randoms. And the sterilizer got left behind in the latest balance patch, even though they kind of gave some kind of buff to the flamethrower's ammo capacity. So the sterilizer is definitely not in a very good spot right now. The dog breath is a decent choice for a backpack though. It's good for defending yourself against enemies that come too close, but I typically prefer the basic guard dog anyways. The armor passive in this Warbond gives you 80% damage resistance to gas damage, and that's the only perk. I still think that these passives, the ones that give you only one kind of damage resist, they should come with another perk, some kind of other perk, anything. Even if it was something minor, it would make them a lot more fun to use and it would make them stand out more. The armor sets look pretty damn cool though, I quite like them. I can't say the same about the rest of the cosmetics though, they're really not that good looking. I really hate the vehicle patterns, they look like baby puke, it's disgusting. And the dumbass like emote and the dumbass victory pose in this Warbond, it brings it down for me. It actually makes me not like this Warbond more. So Chemical Agents, it's going in C. C is for Chemical Agents. Next up, we have Truth Enforcers. This is definitely one of my personal favorite Warbonds. There's a lot to love about it. The weapons are incredible. You get an amazing SMG with the Reprimand, a great shotgun with the Halt, and a really fun secondary with the Loyalist. Each of these weapons will bring something really awesome to your loadout, and I can recommend all of them to most players. The armor sets in this Warbond are iconic. They really stand out visually, and that gives this Warbond a very, very strong identity. It stands out really well among a lot of the other more colorful Warbonds with its kind of harsh white and harsh red colors, and also like the harsh blacks on the vehicle patterns. The armor passive also fits really well with the themes of this Warbond. You get a slight boost to your armor, an extra 25 armor rating on any armor set that has this passive. Your aim will no longer flinch when you take damage, and you have the ability to place radar pings on the map, like the Scout passive, which is a very underrated perk in my opinion. It allows you to assess a situation much more easily from a distance, and that fits really well with the whole idea of playing as a truth enforcer, like, you know, seeking out information and using that to your advantage. And the extra cosmetics are really good in this one too. You get a great title, free of thought, you get some cool ass capes, and some really awesome vehicle patterns. If you ever want to roleplay as a true bad guy and just like relish in it, this is the Warbond for you. So I'm putting Truth Enforcers in top of A tier, I think. I think it belongs there. It's not perfect. I mean, the dead sprint booster kind of sucks, in my opinion. But I think the rest of it is so damn good that I think it's just a solid top of A tier. Next up, we have Urban Legends. And this Warbond is really, really good in some ways, and not so great in others, in my opinion. You get some really good and awesome stratagems like the Flame Sentry and the Anti-Tank Emplacement. The Anti-Tank Emplacement, in particular, has helped me so many times. I love using it against the bots. You can clear command bunker missions insanely fast with this thing. And there's also the Directional Shield, which is terrible. This is one of the worst stratagems in the game, in my opinion, if not the worst stratagem. You also get one of the best armor passives in the entire game, which is Siege Ready. I've talked about how much I love Siege Ready before, but if you missed my previous review of Urban Legends, I don't mind continuing to talk about Siege Ready. Siege Ready does two things. It increases the reload speed of primary weapons by 30%, which is nothing to scoff at. That is a major buff for almost every primary in the game. And it increases your ammo capacity for all weapons by 20%, not including throwables or weapon backpacks. Both perks in this passive make sure that you are always ready for a fight. You'll load your weapons faster, and you'll have enough ammo to back up your fast reloads. You could even consider it to be a pure DPS increase, which is very rare among armor passives. The only real problem I have with this Warbond is the lack of guns. The only weapon in this whole Warbond is the Stun Lance, which is really underwhelming. If this Warbond came with a fun primary, or a fun grenade, then I would consider it to be one of the best Warbonds in the entire game, period. I still think it's amazing, but it's not in that upper echelon for me quite yet. New guns are the thing that always gets me excited about new Warbonds. I love trying out new guns, leveling them up, unlocking more attachments. So it's just a personal thing for me, but that is a major letdown with this Warbond. No guns. So I do like Urban Legends a lot. If it had a little bit more oomph, I would put it in S tier. But for now, I'm going to put it right next to Truth Enforcers in A tier. Next up, we have Servants of Freedom. And this is one of the most unique Warbonds for sure. Not only does it stand out visually, but the items inside are also really damn unique and really damn good. The double-edged sickle is downright insane. If you don't know what this weapon does, let's just say that blood is fuel. The longer you fire it, the more it heats up, and the more damage it will deal to the user. But the more it heats up, the more damage and armor penetration it has. It can even reach heavy armor pen, making it capable of killing almost any standard enemy in the whole game. And then there's the Ultimatum, which is the equivalent of carrying around a nuke in your pocket. It fires a heavy, slow-moving projectile that can absolutely devastate a crowd of enemies and destroy a wide variety of buildings. And then there's the Seeker Grenade. As the name suggests, it will fly out and seek nearby enemies and explode right in their face. It will actually prioritize flying enemies. So if you have problems with flying overseers or gunships, then you will love this grenade. The big problem with the Seeker, though, is that you can't really use it to destroy buildings like bug holes. I mean, that's not really what it was intended to do in the first place, so you do have to bring something else to destroy, like, you know, a bug hole or something, or a building, and thankfully the Ultimatum is pretty good at that. And then there's the Portable Hell Bomb, which is exactly what it sounds like. You strap it to your back, find something you want to blow up, and arm the bomb. You'll have around 10 seconds to either drop the bomb off at the destination and run, or 10 seconds to run the bomb to where it needs to be and take yourself out with the enemies. There are some incredible ways that you can use the portable hell bomb. It's great at taking out stratagem jammers. You don't even need to interact with the terminal at all. Just call in the hell bomb outside of the jammer's radius, bring the bomb to the jammer, and arm it. Simple as that. And it's great for also destroying illuminate monoliths as well. So make sure that you consider bringing the portable hell bomb on certain missions. It can really help you out. The armors in this Warbond are strongly influenced by Roman cavalry. The helmets are molded in the shape of a human face, making them quite unusual and intimidating. There's even Latin engraved on each armor set, which translates to freedom through democracy. The armor passive in this Warbond is called Integrated Explosives, and it comes with 2 perks. The first perk increases your grenade capacity by 2, just like the Engineering Kit passive, which is an incredible perk. And the second perk will make your body detonate 1.5 seconds after death. It's a very interesting and thematic perk, but it's not something that I consider taking very often. I'm not a huge fan of items that rely on you not doing well to actually activate, but if you're smart, you could find ways to actually use this passive really well. Overall, this Warbond really stands out, and it's definitely one of the best Warbonds in the game. You get some awesome looking armor, incredible weapons and gear, and the theme is very unique when compared to other Warbonds. So Servants of Freedom is an easy S tier, above Sealed Veterans, but not quite on the tier of Democratic Detonation. Next up, we have Borderline Justice, and this Warbond has a bunch of really fun items. Almost all of the gear is unique and quite useful. The Deadeye is a lever-action rifle, dealing 300 damage per shot with medium armor penetration, and it hits like a truck at any range, so it's great for picking off medium-sized enemies. And it's just so damn fun to shoot a lever action in a game like Helldivers 2. And there's the Talon, which is one of the best secondaries in the game in my opinion. It functions a lot like the Sickle. It fires laser projectiles, but it's single fire. It deals 200 damage and also penetrates medium armor. The one problem with the Talon is the durable damage. The durable damage is absolutely terrible. Only 20 damage. So it's only good against light armor at best, but the Talon is still a really good weapon. It's a perfect sidearm. If you're out of primary ammo and you need to quickly damage something, then you just gotta be a good shot to use it properly. And then there's the Dynamite, which just got a pretty large buff. It deals 1000 damage in a large radius and penetrates heavy armor. It also got a buff to its demolition force, making it the same as the Ultimatum in terms of what buildings it can destroy. It can destroy Bile Titan spawners now, and it can destroy fabricators without even landing it in the vent. Combine that with the new stealth changes to the bots and the Dynamite's timer system, you could pull off some real MGS5 shit. Like, you could set the grenade to detonate after a minute, toss a few on some fabricators and sneak away, and they'll just blow up and take out the whole outpost. This Warbond also comes with the Hover Pack, which is of course another option for a movement backpack, but instead of traveling diagonally like the Jump Pack or horizontally like the Warp Pack, the Hover Pack allows you to fly up and get a nice vantage point in the sky. Or you could use it to, you know, scale buildings and get new flanking routes, escape enemies. There's a lot of different ways that you could use the Hover Pack. And there's also the Sample Extricator Booster, which just isn't very good. It gives large enemies a small chance to drop a common booster when they die. Yippee! And only 10 of them can drop in one mission, so I mean, at most you're getting 10 more common samples in a mission. If you can effectively farm large enemies and grab the samples after, it's really not worth taking. The armors in this Warbond look great. They perfectly fit the space western / bounty hunter theme. And there's a lot of great little visual details on here too. The armor passive in this Warbond is called Gunslinger, which comes with 3 different perks. All of them are centered around improving your secondary weapons. The first perk increases the reload speed for secondary weapons by 40%. The second perk increases the weapon swap speed with secondary weapons by 50%, and the third perk reduces the recoil with secondary weapons by 70%, which is nothing to scoff at. 70% is a pretty huge reduction, and that's good for certain secondaries like the Senator, Redeemer, Verdict, you know, it's not bad. But really, you have to be a massive fan of secondaries if you're willing to choose this passive over everything else in the game. Like, it's really not that useful, it's just kind of fun to use secondaries like that. The other cosmetics are also pretty great in this Warbond. I'm a big fan of the title Super Sheriff, it's just a great title, I love it so much. Overall, this Warbond is pretty solid. It has a fun theme, unique items, and useful weapons, and that's pretty much all you could want out of a new Warbond release. So, Borderline Justice, I really love it. I love all the items in it. Is it better than Urban Legends, though? Borderline Justice is definitely an A tier, but where does it fit in here? My heart says it's going to the top of A tier. I'm putting Borderline Justice above all that stuff. I just love it. It's a really fun Warbond, and I'm a big fan of all the items in it, pretty much. And I'm a huge fan of the weapons. The weapons really make this Warbond for me. Next up, we have Masters of Ceremony. And I just did my review of Masters of Ceremony last week, so it's pretty fresh in my mind. This Warbond has a great sense of style. This Warbond and Truth Enforcers are two sides of the same sexy coin. As far as the actual gear goes, this Warbond is a mixed bag. There's the Amendment, which is a very fun weapon that blurs the line between marksman rifle and assault rifle. It deals tons of damage with a light armor pen. This makes it great for picking off small enemies or pumping out damage into an enemy like a flesh mob. And the Saber just got a buff, giving it more damage. And it's a pretty solid choice for a melee weapon if you actually like to bring melee weapons. The Pyrotech Grenade is a huge sleeper hit. I don't see enough people talking about how good the Pyrotech actually is. It's incendiary, it's anti-tank, it can destroy buildings. This grenade is such a good option for like any loadout in the game at all. And then there's the flag. We're not talking about the flag again, I have talked about it far too many times, I have milked that cow dry. I don't like the flag, I'm sorry. The armor sets look fantastic. They really stand out from the other armors while also fitting perfectly in the universe of Helldivers 2. The armor passive in this Warbond is called Reinforced Epaulets, which comes with 3 different perks. The first perk increases the reload speed of primary weapons by 30%, which is an incredible perk no matter what way you slice it. It's one of the best parts about Siege Ready. The second perk gives you 50% chance to resist a limb injury, which is all around another decent perk. It's useful for pretty much everybody if you don't like having your leg broken. And the third perk increases your melee damage by 50%, which is pretty useful for those of you that like melee, or if any of you that like the ceremonial weapons like the Constitution or the Amendment. I think it's really cool that they made this passive work well with those weapons in particular, and I think it's really cool that they made this passive fit well with the ceremonial weapons in particular. I always like when a Warbond has an assortment of perks that kind of synergize together and fit the theme of the Warbond, and Masters of Ceremony really pulls that off really well. And the other cosmetics are pretty great too. The capes look fantastic, and this is the only way to wear the flag of Super Earth on your back. And all of the cosmetics in this Warbond just look so good. The capes look great, the armors look great, the cards are good. I mean, if you're gonna buy this Warbond, you're definitely buying it for the cosmetic value instead of like any sort of usefulness, apart from the Pyrotech Grenade. There's also the sample scanner booster, which gives you a 15% chance to get an extra sample when you pick up any sample rarity. So you could get an extra rare, an extra common, or an extra super sample, which I think is kind of underrated. If you need to farm extra samples for yourself and your ship, then consider taking this every once in a while, because it could help you get to your next upgrade faster. Overall, I think I would rank Masters of Freedom as... It looks really good. I love the look of everything in this Warbond. The gear isn't great though, so I think it's a high B tier, above cutting edge in my opinion. Next up we have Force of Law, and I'm dreading to judge this Warbond. Get it? Anyways, this Warbond has some items that aren't very good, but I just kind of like this Warbond anyways. I really love the armors and the cosmetics. They're definitely some of my favorite in the whole game. The pacifier isn't a great assault rifle. They recently buffed it to have more stun and slightly more damage, which is the right move, but most of the time I would rather bring the MA5C or the Coyote. I think those are superior medium pen assault rifles. The Urchin is in a similar spot to the pacifier. It's a grenade that you can stick to targets and it will stun them. And it is great at stunning large targets, but most of the time I would rather just stick a thermite to them, run away, and let them die. But the stratagems are actually pretty good though. The de-escalator just got a huge buff to its damage, nearly doubling the damage it deals while still allowing it to effectively stun enemies. And the Guard Dog K9 is a pretty awesome guard dog variant in my opinion. It sends out a massive wave of electricity to any enemies in front of the drone, dealing some pretty decent damage and penetrating nearly every armor type in the entire game, as well as applying a small amount of stun. So this is always useful if you're up close with an enemy. It will deal damage to anything in the game, and I quite like that. One of my favorite things about this Warbond overall has to be the armor sets. I love the way that the correct officer looks. It really fits well with a variety of helmets too. I really do love everything about the way this armor set looks. The armor passive in this Warbond is Ballistic Padding, which is a really damn good passive in my opinion. It gives you 25% damage resistance against all damage to the chest, which is just a damn good perk. You also get 25% damage resistance against explosives. Again, another really solid perk. The third perk prevents bleeding damage entirely. All of these together make you much more effective against the bots. You take less damage to the chest, which is great for fighting ranged enemies. You take less damage from explosives, which is obviously great against the bots. And the immunity to bleeding damage is just an all-around great perk. Anyone can find use for that. The booster in Force of Law is Stun Pods, which honestly just kinda sucks. It's like Firebomb Hell Pods, but with stun instead. How thrilling. And the vehicle patterns are great. You can take a look for yourself and see what I mean. They're all really, really cool. I love the blue and gold accents. And the rest of the cosmetics are all really cool. Again, the armor is awesome. I love the armor so much. Even though the gear in Force of Law isn't the best in the game, I'm still gonna put it I think above Masters of Ceremony for a high B tier. Next up we have Control Group, and this is one of the wackiest Warbonds out there. You can find some really cool and unique items here. This Warbond does have a primary weapon, which is the VG70 variable. It is a volley gun with several different barrels. Each barrel can store several rounds of caseless ammunition. There are 3 different firing modes. Auto mode acts like a simple automatic assault rifle with adjustable firing rate. Volley mode fires an entire barrel at once, instantly dealing great damage against any unarmored target. And then there's total mode, which immediately fires every single round from every single barrel. This deals an incredible amount of damage, thousands of damage, but it will ragdoll you if there are more than 22 rounds loaded when you fire. This weapon is insanely unique and fun, but it is difficult to use effectively. I can recommend it if you like other light armor pen assault rifles like the Liberator. I think it's an effective side grade to certain assault rifles like that. And there's also the G31 Arc Grenade. This is very simply an electric grenade. It will bounce around and shock enemies, dealing damage and applying a small stun effect. Unfortunately, this grenade doesn't have enough demolition force to destroy enemy buildings, so you'll want to bring something else to take out the fabricators, bug holes, and warp ships. There's also the Plaz 45 Epoch, which is a plasma-based support weapon. It functions similarly to the railgun, where you charge it up for extra damage, but charging it too far will explode the weapon and kill the person using it. It just got a decent buff, giving it enough demolition force to destroy bug holes and fabricators if you charge it up, and giving it a bit more damage overall. It's really nothing special, but it's a decent support weapon. There's the Laser Sentry, which I really don't need to explain. It's a laser sentry. It's just like a giant LAS-5 scythe attached to a sentry. And then there's the Warp Pack, which is the highlight of this Warbond for sure. The Warp Pack is the 3rd movement pack added to Helldivers 2. It allows you to teleport short distances, and you can even telefrag enemies if you warp directly onto them. The best part about the warp pack is the ability to teleport through bunker doors, meaning that you don't need 2 people to open a bunker. This is great for a number of reasons. It means that you can effectively farm super credits on your own, and if you find a bunker during a mission, you don't need to wait around for someone to come to your position and open it with you. You can simply loot it yourself, saving time for you and for your team. And the warp pack is just damn fun to use. It's such an interesting and fun item, and I recommend it to everybody. The armors in this Warbond have a pretty neat style, definitely fitting with the theme of experimental science and unusual items. The armor passive in this Warbond is called Adreno Defibrillator, which comes with 3 perks. The first perk will resurrect you once after death, provided that your body is still intact. You'll get back up after death with limited movement speed, and your health will constantly be draining. But it gives you a chance to get revenge on your enemies before death, or even make a last-minute sacrifice. You can rise from the grave, arm a hellbomb, and die knowing that you made a difference. It's a really awesome perk. Definitely one of the most unique armor passive perks in the entire game. It's really fun to use. The second perk simply gives you 2 more seconds of duration on your stims, which does fit well with the first perk. You can keep stimming yourself to keep yourself alive for longer, and you get 50% resistance to arc damage, which fits well thematically with the Warbond, and it makes this passive a decent choice against the Illuminate in particular. Overall, this Warbond has some really neat items, some things that you can't find anywhere else in the game, and some awesome concepts like the Warp Pack. The Warp Pack is just so incredible, and if you buy this Warbond early on, you can effectively farm super credits by yourself. I think Control Group is going to go somewhere in Tier A, but where is it going to go? I think I'm going to put it ahead of Viper Commandos. I like Control Group quite a lot. I think there's a lot of really fun and awesome and useful items in it. It's not perfect though, so I'm not going to put it above Urban Legends or Truth Enforcers or anything else. And next up we have a very special Warbond, our only legendary Warbond, which is the ODST Warbond. Full disclosure, I am extremely biased towards this Warbond. There were 2 things that drew me to Helldivers 2 in the first place. One was my love for Starship Troopers. I love that movie. It's such a great fun time. And the other was my roots as an ODST. I grew up playing Halo, and ODST has always been one of my favorite Halo games. And I'm honestly a much bigger fan of Halo than I am of Helldivers, to be frank. This Warbond truly did justice to some of my favorite items from the Halo universe, and they managed to put their own little spin on a few things too. Even the trailer was packed with so many neat little Easter eggs and references to old ODST marketing material. This Warbond was a true labor of love from Arrowhead and Halo Studios. Unfortunately, the weapons aren't as good as they could be. The MA5C thankfully just got a buff, same with the M7S and the SOCOM, but they're still just kind of average. They're not insanely good, but they're not terrible either. The armors are pretty great though. The passive is incredible for stealth, and you become immune to all leg injuries. You will never limp again if you're wearing the ODST armor. The only real downside to the armor sets is the fact that they are functionally identical. The Recon really should be light armor, while the Helljumper should stay as medium armor. Regardless of all that, I could never ever bring myself to hate this Warbond. I love it way too much. It just feels like it was made by fans of Halo, for other Halo fans, and that really means a lot to me. You know, hate me if you want, but it's my favorite Warbond. ODST is my favorite Warbond. It's the top of the list, far above everything else. Thematically, visually, everything. It has to be my favorite. And that is just my opinion. I know it's not perfect, but I just love it. And finally, we have our newest Warbond, Dust Devils. This is another really solid Warbond. You get so much good gear and some awesome looking armor from Dust Devils. The main selling point of this Warbond has to be the Coyote. This assault rifle was so good when it came out that some people thought it was a mistake, and I think Arrowhead had to come out and say, Yeah, that was intentional. It deals 75 damage with medium armor penetration, and it sets enemies on fire after a few shots. Plus, it has a 45-round magazine, which is the same as the default Liberator. The only real downside to the Coyote is the durable damage. It will only deal 10 damage per round if you're hitting medium armor, but it will still set that enemy on fire regardless, so I think that makes up for it. Plus, I just love AK-style weapons, and this is a really fun sci-fi AK design, so you could say I'm a pretty big fan of the Coyote. There's also the G7 Pineapple, which just got a huge buff, giving it more damage and allowing it to destroy buildings. This is a really fun grenade, and it's like the airburst rocket launcher of grenades. I definitely recommend this item. And this Warbond also comes with 2 different support weapons. Yeah, 2. There's the spear gun, which is exactly what you think it is. It fires a spear at enemies, which has anti-tank penetration, and it actually deals gas damage. Yeah, gas damage, so you can snipe just about any enemy in the game with a massive harpoon from long range, and confuse them, and leave behind a cloud of gas for anyone else in the area, all while dealing damage over time with the gas status effect. This is by far one of my favorite support weapons. It's insanely good, and it doesn't even need a backpack to function. Then there's the expendable napalm, which functions similarly to the expendable anti-tank, but it's better for taking out groups of enemies, and it spreads fire all over the place. This is a really fun stratagem, and I definitely recommend it if you're a fan of other expendable weapons like the EAT or the Commando. And there's another stratagem in this Warbond, another one, the Solo Silo, which is also technically a support weapon. This is a missile silo that you call down and retrieve a laser designator from, which goes in your support weapon slot. You mark an area for the missile, and it will kill nearly anything in that general area. And they recently buffed it so that enemies won't attack it anymore, and it's much harder to kill overall. It used to be so frustrating to use because enemies would just walk by it, hit it a few times, and it would just be gone. But now it's a pretty solid choice for yet another expendable kind of support weapon. The armor sets in this Warbond are fantastic. They're clearly inspired by the Dune movies, and I love that. I'm a big fan of the new Dune movies. The Federation's Blade armor set is clearly inspired by the Sardaukar, and the Scorpion armor set is inspired by the Atreides soldiers. The first perk gives you 40% resistance to all elemental damage. That means fire, gas, acid, and electrical damage. It's like a slightly worse version of the Killzone armor passive, but this passive also comes with a throwing distance buff, 20% extra throwing distance to be exact. So this passive is really good for hive worlds, or any planet where dragon roaches might be lurking. You can protect yourself from the dragon's fire, and from the acid that the bugs spit at you. Plus, the extra throwing distance can help you up close with a few extra bug holes. Overall, this is one of the best Warbonds in the game, in my opinion. With so many good items, such a cool style, and it's just plain fun. So I'm putting Dust Devils also in S tier, above Steeled Veterans, and I think it belongs there. I know I have a very dark horse pick for the S tier, but I think when you look at these 4 other ones in S tier, these are all really solid, and they all really expand your arsenal in a variety of different ways, and they're all just damn good Warbonds that are all worth buying. Same down here with A. These aren't, as extraordinary as the other ones in S tier, but they're all really good, and they encourage a lot of really fun playstyles. B tier, even though I love these Warbonds too, I have to admit they're not as good as the ones in A and S, in my opinion. I do think there's a lot of really good items in each of these Warbonds, but they don't have the same punch that the other ones do. In fact, I might take Polar Patriots and move that one up, and Cutting Edge and move that one up. I think Masters of Ceremony, even though I like it, even though I think it's cool, I think it's not that great, really, in terms of the items you get, apart from the armor passive and the pyrotech. And chemical agents. I've never been a fan of chemical agents. I'm not like a gas user kind of guy. I mean, I like the spear gun. That's like my favorite gas weapon in the game, but come on, Dust Devils has the spear gun. Dust Devils has so much other good shit too. So yeah, I think I'm generally satisfied with my final ranking here. I feel like I'm forgetting something though. Oh shit, I forgot. Mitch is in the pod right now.
Oh, god damn! That was a good nap. And hey, you didn't leave me in the pod.
Oh shit, you heard that?
I heard what?
Never mind.
The commander here was gonna leave you in the pod overnight.
And that is what I get for letting you guys drink today?
Okay. What time is it, anyway?
Well, the new episode is already over. It's just reruns now. I'm sorry.
Fuck me, it's been that long?
Hey, it's a lot of ranking, and it takes me a little while to put my thoughts together.
Yeah, okay. I guess I get what you mean. So, what now?
Come on, walk with me. So, I have been doing a lot of thinking, and you know that things haven't been so great around here.
Yeah, you could say that again. Leadership is hurting bad. Losing our commanders put us in a bad spot.
I know.
So, what are you getting at?
Well, maybe we should try something new. I know that our crew could do some amazing things.
Yeah, damn right we could.
Just look out there, Mitch. What do you see?
I see a crumbling planet that we failed to save. A never-ending perpetual monument to our sins.
Jesus Christ, I just meant space. We're looking out into space right now.
Hey, I mean, you asked.
Well, I see a whole galaxy. Infinite possibilities. So much to explore and so much to do. We can't stay on the Prophet of Dawn forever. It's about time we expanded our horizons.
Dude, we're in space. Our horizons can't get any more broader than this.
Yeah, and you want to call me a smartass.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, what do you think?
About what?
Are you willing to follow me into the unknown?
I'm right behind you, Commander. Let's do this shit.
All stations?
Ready for departure, sir.
Any objections?
No, sir.
Of course, Penny crashed. Again. God damn it. Mitch?
Just hoping this isn't the usual way our missions will go, sir.
Oh no, I'm sure that our future missions will be much more interesting. Let's see what's out there. Engage.